What if I told you that the crisp, juicy apple in your hand traveled across oceans and continents to reach your table? That behind its vibrant color and perfect crunch lies a journey that starts in one of the most pristine corners of the world, New Zealand. This is not just a story about fruit. It's a story about people, passion, science, and nature working in harmony to produce what many consider to be the finest apples on the planet. Each bite holds not only flavor but a legacy, a whisper of the land where it grew, a fingerprint of the hands that cared for it. Welcome to the soul-stirring journey behind New Zealand's world-famous apples, a tale of resilience, innovation, and excellence tucked inside every sweet, tangy mouthful. Nestled in the southern hemisphere, surrounded by turquoise coastlines, and blessed with a mild maritime climate, New Zealand offers an agricultural paradise. The country exports over 450,000 tons of apples annually, satisfying some of the most demanding global markets. But this isn't just about numbers. These apples are more than produced. They are ambassadors of quality. Before they ever make their way into glossy supermarket shelves in Europe, Asia, or the Americas, they begin life in lush, carefully managed orchards stretching across the valleys and hills of Hawke's Bay, Nelson, and central Otago. It all begins beneath the surface, literally, with the soil. In apple cultivation, the earth is not merely a bed for roots. It's the lifeblood of the entire operation. Growers meticulously prepare the soil to ensure the perfect balance of nutrients, moisture retention, and pH levels ideally hovering between 5.5 and 6.5. Contrary to what some might think, you can't just dig a hole and plant an apple seed. You can't simply scatter young trees across a field and hope they thrive. No, this is a science, a strategy, an orchestrated effort that starts months before a tree ever touches the ground. Soil samples are tested and amended with natural compost, minerals, and organic matter to build an environment that will support apple trees for decades. Imagine it like laying the concrete foundation for a skyscraper, except it must also breathe, drain, and nourish. Come early spring, as the air begins to soften and the last chills of winter retreat into memory, young apple trees are gently lowered into their new homes. Each sapling, no taller than a child, is placed with care into holes that have been dug with precise dimensions, deep enough to support root spread, wide enough to prevent crowding, and always firm down with just the right pressure, not too tight, not too loose. But planting the tree is only half the job. Each young apple tree is then stake supported with wooden or metal poles that guide its growth and protect it from fierce winds and heavy rain. These stakes are like training wheels, providing structure until the tree matures enough to stand proudly on its own. And then begins the waiting game. Apple trees are patient teachers. They do not rush. They take between 3 to 5 years to offer their first fruits, and up to 7 years to reach full maturity and deliver their most abundant harvests. In that time, growers monitor, nurture, and shape them like sculptors. And one of the most essential tools in their toolkit, pruning. Pruning may seem like an act of cutting away, but it's actually an investment in abundance. Like a master hairstylist shaping the perfect look, orchardists carefully trim and guide the tree's branches. Removing excessive growth allows sunlight to reach the core, encourages airflow, and directs the tree's energy toward developing fewer but better quality fruits. Without pruning, a tree might try to bear thousands of apples, but the result would be tiny, flavorless orbs that fall far short of excellence. Pruning transforms potential into performance. It's where quality triumphs over quantity, bought with the tree shaped and the canopy optimized. It's time to ensure they're well fed. But not all nourishment comes from the soil. Water is just as vital, and in a country that values sustainability, every drop counts. New Zealand's apple orchards have embraced cutting-edge irrigation technologies, especially advanced drip systems. These systems deliver water directly to the base of each tree, minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency. The goal: to give the tree exactly what it needs, no more, no less. During the growing season, especially from spring to summer, each tree may need between 52 over 7,000 gallons of water per week, depending on age, size, and climate conditions. Automated irrigation works like a dedicated caretaker, tirelessly monitoring and adjusting flow so that every tree remains perfectly hydrated through the most critical growth phases. As spring fully awakens, the orchards begin to blush with color. Tiny buds burst into bloom, painting the trees with clouds of white and pale pink flowers. These blossoms are more than just a visual feast, they're a promise of fruit to come. But for apples to grow, pollination must occur. Bees, both wild and farm, dance from flower to flower, spreading pollen and triggering the miracle of fruit formation. Every tiny apple starts as a fertilized blossom, and as the weeks pass, those delicate blooms begin to transform. Slowly, steadily, they swell into small green orbs, clinging to the branches with quiet determination. As summer stretches on, these fledgling apples soak in the sun, drawing nutrients from their roots and sweetness from the skies. They grow plumper, rounder, and more colorful with each passing day. Growers keep a vigilant eye on them, walking the rows, inspecting leaves, measuring growth, and sometimes even whispering wishes for the weather to stay kind. The journey from flower to fruit is fragile. One harsh frost, one unexpected storm, or a misstep in irrigation could unravel months of progress. Yet the farmers persist, guided by instinct, data, and generations of inherited knowledge. Then comes the moment everyone has been waiting for: autumn. As the leaves begin to shift into hues of amber and rust, the apples reach their prime. Their skins shine in reds, yellows, and greens. Their aroma deepens, their flavor peaks. Harvest season, which runs from March through May in New Zealand, transforms the orchards into a hive of activity. Teams of trained workers fan out across the rows, handpicking each apple with surgical precision. No machines, no shaking trees, just human hands and care. Ladders are used to reach the higher branches, and each apple is gently placed into collection bins to avoid bruising. But the work doesn't stop at harvest, it merely shifts gears. From the orchard, apples are transported with care to sorting and packing facilities, many located close to the farms to reduce transit time. Using specially designed carts and crates, the apples make their way to the processing centers where they undergo their next transformation. Upon arrival, they are carefully washed to remove any dirt or residues, gently polished to reveal their natural shine, and sorted using a combination of trained eyes and high-tech machines. Color, size, and firmness all matter. Not every apple is destined for export. Only the finest, those meeting rigorous international standards, make it into the luxury boxes headed for supermarkets and wholesalers across the globe. The rest are redirected to local markets or processed into juice, sauces, and dried snacks. Modern technology plays a starring role in the packaging process. Advanced systems allow for rapid yet gentle handling, maintaining the apple's integrity while maximizing productivity. The fruits are packed into temperature-controlled boxes, designed to maintain freshness during the long voyage overseas. This stage may seem mundane, but it's one of the most critical steps in preserving the apple's taste, texture, and visual appeal. Every detail counts, from the lining of the box to the humidity levels during storage. And let's not forget the stars of the show, the apple varieties themselves. New Zealand is home to some of the most popular and distinctive cultivars in the world. Take the Royal Gala, for example, known for its bright red skin, crisp bite, and gentle sweetness. It's a crowd favorite across continents. Or the Envy apple, a premium offering with an irresistibly rich flavor and slow-to-brown flesh, making it ideal for fresh slicing. Then there's the Braeburn, bold and complex, with a balance of sweetness and tartness that chefs adore. Each variety has its own personality, its own growing requirements, and its own